Welcome to our online chemistry class. Myself Mukesh Kharge from SSPMS and Junior College, Shivajinagar, Pune 5. Our today's topic is electrochemistry. Let us discuss next video part number 2 of this topic. Let us discuss variation of conductivity with concentration. So first point is the electrolytic conductivity is electrical conductance of unit volume, that is 1 centimeter cube of solution. So that is the definition. It depends on the number of current carrying ion present in unit volume of solution. So as number of current carrying ion increases in that particular volume, conductivity increases. On dilution, total number of ion increases as a result of increase of degree of dissociation. It is denoted by alpha, and it is nothing but fraction of total number of moles of that electrolyte undergo ionization or dissociation. Then an increase in total number of ion is not in the proportion of dilution. Let us see example. Suppose 100 centimeter cube of solution of electrolyte contains 8 into 10 raised to 20 ions. The number of ions per centimeter cube is 8 into 10 raised to 18, because 100 centimeter cube contain 8 into 10 raised to 20. 1 centimeter cube contain, divide this by 100, 8 into 10 raised to 18. If solution is diluted to 1000 centimeter cube, means 10 times, the total number of ion will increases, but not by a factor of 10. Assume that the number of ions increases from 8 into 10 raised to 20 to 8 into 10 raised to something, but it is increased up to only by 68 into 10 raised to 20 on dilution. Okay, so our expectation is it should be higher, but after dilution the number of ions per centimeter cube is 6.8 into 10 raised to 18 for per centimeter cube. Okay, so it is evident that number of ions per centimeter cube decreases from 8 into 10 raised to 20 to 6.8 into 10 raised to 18. It is decreased, but our expectation is it should increases on dilution from 100 centimeter cube to 1000 centimeter cube. So our expectation is not satisfied, therefore conductivity decreases. So if number of ions per centimeter cube is increased by 10 times, that means instead of 6.8 into 10 raised to 18, if it is 80 into 10 raised to 18, then the conductivity also we can increases. Okay, because number of ions per centimeter cube increases if it is there. But what is the experimental fact? There is a decrease in number of ions per unit volume of solution, and this results into decrease of conductivity with decrease in concentration of solution, because on dilution concentration decreases. Okay. Now next one is variation of molar conductivity with concentration. So molar conductivity is the electrical conductance of 1 mole of an electrolyte in a given volume of solution. The increase in number of ions produced in the solution by 1 mole of electrolyte leads to increase in the molar conductivity. That's why by simple conductivity measurement we use molar conductivity. Now variation of molar conductivity with concentration. So variation of molar conductivity with concentration in case of strong and weak electrolyte, that we have to discuss, and there is a difference in their conductivity. So strong electrolyte means the electrolyte which gives large number of ions in their aqueous solution, while weak electrolyte gives small number of ions in their aqueous solution. If we take water as a solvent on dissociation or ionization. So first one, strong electrolyte. The molar conductivity of strong electrolyte increases rapidly with dilution, because the number of ions increases on dilution. It approaches the limiting value for 0.001 molar or 0.0001 molar solution. The dilution has no effect on molar conductivity thereafter. Means we dilute further, molar conductivity does not change. The maximum limiting value of molar conductivity is the molar conductivity at zero concentration or at infinite dilution. That means on dilution further, if molar conductivity will remain same, that solution is called as infinite diluted solution, or that is called as zero concentrated solution, and it is denoted by molar conductivity denoted by capital lambda, and 0 represent the concentration is 0 or infinite dilution. So further dilution does not increase the molar conductivity. Keep in mind this point. Now in 19th century, F. Coolidge with repeated experiments shows that molar conductivity of strong electrolyte changes linearly with square root of its concentration. Means we get a straight line graph if you plot a graph of molar conductivity against square root of concentration, and we propose one equation, lambda is equal to lambda 0 minus a into square root of c, where a is the constant value and c is the concentration. For strong electrolyte, when we plot a graph of molar conductivity lambda against concentration of square root of concentration and root c, that graph is linear. So let us see this graph. It is shown with red line. Okay, it is a straight line graph. And if we extrapolate this line up to y-axis, and when it touches to y-axis, that point is called as molar conductivity when concentration of that solution is 0. It is denoted by lambda 0. Okay, but if we consider the weak electrolyte, The molar conductivity of weak electrolyte increases rapidly on dilution. For example, for concentration of 0.001 molar or 0.0001 molar, the molar conductivity value is lower than the lambda 0 of, that is the molar conductivity at 0 concentration. And for weak electrolyte, the graph is not linear, it is curved line. Okay, so if we observe the curved line, it does not extrapolate to this y-axis, and we can't calculate the molar conductivity at zero concentration for such a weak electrolyte. And for this purpose, that Collard's law is applicable to determine the molar conductivity of weak electrolyte. So let us see the Collard's law of independent migration of ions. What is the statement? At infinite diluted solution or infinite dilution, each ion, that means that electrolyte contains cation and anion, migrates independently of its co-ion and contributes to the total molar conductivity of electrolyte, irrespective of the nature of other ion to which it is associated. So that electrolyte contains cation and anion. Both this cation and anion contributes to molar conductivity of that electrolyte at zero concentration, and thus lambda 0 is the sum of the molar conductivity of cation and that of anion at zero concentration or at infinite dilution. So molar conductivity of that solution lambda 0 is equal to n plus, means number of moles of that cation into molar conductivity of that cation at zero concentration, plus n minus, means number of moles of that anion into molar conductivity of that anion at zero concentration. Okay, then application. Okay, so sometime in previous board exam we observed that there is a question on this Collard's law. So state and explain Collard's law. So you write the statement and this mathematical equation with the terms involved in it. Now application of Collard's law. There is no need to write the application when its question is state and explain the Collard's law or Collard's theory. If question is with write the application, then mention the application. Now first application is the theory can be used to calculate the molar conductivity of electrolyte at zero concentration. For example, I will write the molar conductivity of KCl. Lambda 0 KCl is equal to lambda 0 K plus lambda 0 Cl minus. Then this is for strong electrolyte, and for weak electrolyte lambda 0 BaOH twice is equal to lambda 0 Ba2 plus 2 into lambda 0 OH minus. Why 2? Because if BaOH twice gives its ion, then Ba is 2 plus, but OH is 1 minus. So to balance 2 plus charge on Ba, there should be 2 OH minus, and that's why 2 is the number. Okay. So knowing the molar conductivities of ions at infinite dilution, lambda 0 value of electrolyte can be obtained. Okay. So one more application just before, when we discuss this graph, that is it is used to calculating the lambda 0 value of weak electrolyte from those of strong electrolyte. Okay. For example, lambda 0 of acetic acid can be calculated by knowing the lambda 0 value of HCl, hydrochloric acid, NaCl, sodium chloride, and sodium acetate CH3COONA, and it can be calculated as follows. So lambda 0 of HCl plus lambda 0 of CH3COONA minus lambda 0 of NaCl, because we require acetic acid means CH3COH. So here H and his CH3CONA, CH3COO is present. That's why these two get added, and the Cl from this and Na from this get removed. So minus lambda 0 of NaCl. That gives. So if you write the ionic form of this electrolyte, lambda HCl gives lambda 0 H plus lambda 0 Cl minus. CH3CONA gives lambda 0 of CH3CO minus and lambda 0 of Na plus. NaCl gives lambda 0 Na plus and lambda 0 of Cl minus. So this is subtracted, so the corresponding coion also subtracted. So they get cancelled from these two electrolyte. What is remain? Lambda 0 of H plus lambda 0 of CH3CO minus, that is nothing but lambda 0 of CH3COH. So thus lambda 0 of CH3COH is equal to lambda 0 HCl plus lambda 0 CH3CONA minus lambda 0 NaCl. Because lambda 0 of strong electrolyte can be determined by extrapolation method, but lambda 0 of acetic acid cannot be determined by extrapolating because it is a weak electrolyte. That's why we use the Collard's law. Now we will solve one numerical based on this. Calculate the molar conductivity of AgI at 0 concentration if the molar conductivity of NaI, AgNO3 and NaNO3 at 0 concentrations are given respectively 126.9, 133.4 and 121.5 ohm inverse centimeter square per mole. So what is the Collard's law? Lambda 0 of NaI gives lambda 0 of Na plus lambda 0 of I minus, which is equal to 126.9 ohm inverse centimeter square per mole. Then lambda 0 of AgNO3 is equal to lambda 0 of Ag plus lambda 0 of NO3 minus, it is 133.4 ohm inverse centimeter square per mole. Then lambda 0 of NaNO3 is equal to lambda 0 of Na plus lambda 0 of NO3 minus, it is equal to 121.5 ohm inverse centimeter square per mole. So with the help of these given values of this electrolyte, we can calculate the molar conductivity of AgI. So you write according to Collard's law, lambda 0 of AgI, so it contains Ag and I. So here Ag is present and here NaI, iodine is present. So these two electrolytes should be added, and the Na from this and NO3 from this can be removed. So this third can be subtracted. So calculate the molar conductivity of AgI, molar conductivity of NaI plus molar conductivity of AgNO3 minus molar conductivity of NaNO3. So what we give? Molar conductivity of Na plus at 0 concentration plus lambda 0 I minus lambda 0 of Ag plus lambda 0 of NO3 minus. With the help of these two, the molar conductivity of the coions get added, minus molar conductivity of Na plus minus molar conductivity of NO3 minus. So if you cancel the common things from this, molar conductivity of Ag plus molar conductivity of I minus, that is molar conductivity of AgI. So substituting the values, 126.9 plus 133.4 minus 121.5, we get 138.8 ohm inverse centimeter square per mole. So let us see another numerical. So at the end you write the correct value to 2 decimal with correct unit carrying half mass and the value carrying half mass. Your final answer. Now one more numerical is the molar conductivity of 0.01 molar acetic acid at 25 degrees centigrade is 16.5 ohm inverse centimeter square per mole. Calculate its degree of dissociation in 0.1 molar solution and dissociation constant if molar conductivity of acetic acid at 0 concentration is 390.7 ohm inverse centimeter square per mole. So what is the degree of dissociation? Molar conductivity of given concentration divided by molar conductivity at infinite dilution or at 0 concentration. So these values are given. Molar conductivity of 0.01 molar concentration is given 16.5 ohm inverse centimeter square per mole, and molar conductivity at 0 concentration is 390.7 ohm inverse centimeter square per mole. Substituting this value, the alpha is equal to 0.0422. Okay, then what is the dissociation constant? It is acid, so Ka, and the formula is given according to law of mass action, and that is alpha square C divided by 1 minus alpha. Alpha is degree of dissociation. Substitute the value as it is. Don't round up. So many student has tendency to round up the value and then substitute. So if you round up, your final answer is not correct up to 2 digit, and if it is not correct, then you can't get the marks for that. So write down 0.0422 raised to 2 into concentration is 0.01 divided by 1 minus 0.0422. So your answer is 1.85 into 10 raised to minus 4. Okay, so it is a constant, so no unit. Then next one is molar conductivity and degree of dissociation of weak electrolyte. The degree of dissociation of weak electrolyte is related to its molar conductivity at given concentration by this equation. Alpha is equal to lambda C divided by lambda 0. So lambda C is the molar conductivity of weak electrolyte at given concentration C. Lambda 0 is the molar conductivity at 0 concentration. We already discussed while solving the numerical. Then measurement of conductivity. The conductivity of solution can be determined from the resistance measured by Wheatstone bridge. So conductivity of cell. The conductivity cell can be determined by using this conductivity cell. Conductivity cell of a glass tube with 2 platinum plate. So here in the glass tube, 2 platinum wires are there with platinum plate. These plates are coated with thin layer of finely divided platinum black. Now this is achieved by electrolysis of solution of chloroplatinic acid. Okay. Then the cell is dipped in solution whose resistance is to be measured. Sorry, here it is long written. Here the solution whose conductivity is to be measured, that is place, and the cell is dipped in this solution whose resistance is to be measured. So how will you measure that Wheatstone bridge principle you have to follow? We'll see that afterwards. So what is cell constant? So conductivity of electrolytic solution is given by this equation that we already discussed. K means conductivity is equal to 1 upon R. R means resistance into L divided by A. L is the length of that conductor and A is the area of cross section. Okay, so what is the unit of length? It is meter inverse or centimeter inverse, and area in meter square or centimeter square. So if we substitute L by A is equal to cell constant, then what is K? K is nothing but cell constant divided by R, that is the resistance. And we can calculate by the conductivity by the following three steps. Let us discuss these steps by Wheatstone-Bridge principle. So determination of cell constant first. Cell constant is determined by using 1 molar, 0.1 molar or 0.01 molar KCl solution. So the conductivity of KCl solution is well tabulated at various temperature. The resistance of KCl solution is measured by Wheatstone-Bridge principle. So here is the figure to measure the resistance. So AB is uniform wire. Rx is variable known resistance placed in one arm of Wheatstone-Bridge, and the solution whose resistance is to be measured, it is placed on another arm. So here the conductivity cell containing KCl solution of unknown resistance, and it is placed on other arm of the Wheatstone-Bridge. D is a current detector. F is a sliding contact that moves along this AB. Okay, and this AC represents the source of alternating current. So sliding contact moves along this AB until you observe no current flow, that can be shown in your milliammeter. The detector D shows no deflection. Okay, and the null point is thus obtained as C. So at this C point there is no deflection. So according to Wheatstone-Bridge principle, the resistance of solution, here we measure the resistance. So this AC is the distance and here is the known resistance, so BC is the distance. So according to Wheatstone-Bridge principle, resistance of solution divided by length AC is equal to given resistance Rx divided by length BC. So resistance of solution is equal to length AC divided by length BC into resistance Rx, which is a known resistance. So with the help of this 5.15 we can calculate the resistance of given KCl solution, and the cell constant can be calculated. Cell constant is equal to conductivity KCl into resistance of your solution. So conductivity of K solution is known, then we can calculate the cell constant. Then next one is determination of conductivity of given solution. KCl solution in the conductivity cell in first step is replaced by the given solution whose conductivity to be measured. So if another solution whose conductivity to be measured, then replace the previous solution by this solution. Its resistance is measured by the as usual process that we will discuss in this previous step, the conductivity of given solution is then calculated. K is equal to cell constant divided by resistance of solution. Okay. Then calculation of molar conductivity. So the molar conductivity of given solution is calculated by using this formula 1000 K divided by C. So in previous step we calculate the conductivity, and substituting that value with known concentration of the given solution, we can calculate the molar conductivity of your. So let us discuss one numerical. The conductivity cell containing 0.1 molar KCl gives at 25 degrees centigrade the resistance of 604 ohm. The same cell containing 0.001 molar AgNO3 gives a resistance of 6530 ohm. Calculate the molar conductivity of 0.001 molar AgNO3 when conductivity of 0.01 molar KCl at 25 degree is 0.00141 ohm inverse centimeter per centimeter. So solution, how will you solve this? So first we have to calculate the cell constant. So cell constant formula is conductivity of solution multiplied by resistance of that solution. So conductivity of 0.01 molar KCl is given, and it is 604. Then conductivity of it is the resistance, and conductivity is 0.00141 ohm inverse centimeter inverse. So conductivity is 0.00141, substitute here, and resistance is 604. So ohm inverse and ohm get cancelled. What is the unit remain? Centimeter inverse. So what is the value? 0.852. Now we have to calculate conductivity of AgNO3. So conductivity of AgNO3 is equal to cell constant divided by resistance of AgNO3. So resistance is of AgNO3 is given 6530. So cell constant is 0.852. Substitute these values, so we get 0.852 centimeter inverse divided by 6530 ohm. So this is the conductivity of AgNO3, 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 4 ohm inverse centimeter per centimeter or centimeter inverse. Now you have to calculate the molar conductivity of AgNO3. So molar conductivity is equal to 1000 K divided by C. So K is calculated 1000 into 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 4 ohm inverse centimeter inverse divided by concentration is 0.001 mole per liter. So it is the answer 130 centimeter square ohm inverse mole inverse. So thank you for watching my YouTube channel Mukesh Kharge. Please subscribe, like and share. So here, Thank you for HSC State Board because I use that textbook for recording my video. Thank you very much.